I'm going to try to make this as brief and as little as confusing as possible because it can get confusing.
Sure.
So a lot of people know that 16 was down a couple days last week or one day last week. Channel 28, which is our low power station, it was down a lot today. And so what the government has mandated that right now on broadcast TV, we have channels 2 through 45. Now, when I was growing up, when you were growing up, it went through about 76 or so. So they have, chipped away at what we call our spectrum. So right now we're at channel up to 45. In the very near future, they're chipping away at it even more, and we're going to have up to channels 34.
Wow.
So channels 2 through 34, and that's all to make room for phones.
Right.
So there's Wyatt with his fish on there. But it's all to make more room for cell phones because broadcast TV is it's not going away. But there's other ways that we can utilize the spectrum for it. So so in the very near future, a lot of TV stations have already changed channels. We at Channel 16 are actually going to be changing channels.
Right.
Now, for the end viewer, and this is very, very important, for the end viewer, there should be no difference. When they turn on the TV, it should still say, or will say, Channel 16.
Right.
There won't be any difference, but it's just the way we can encode it to get it to say that. For an example, and I hope YFF doesn't mind me saying this. They shouldn't. It's public knowledge. Channel 4 hasn't been on Channel 4 in about 10 years.
Right.
They've been on Channel 36 or 5 or something like that. But the end viewer, when you watch Channel 4, you see it coming up forward like that. So, but a lot of TV stations haven't changed, including us. So we found out a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, in order to handle our new antenna. And so on top of Paris Mountain, our antenna goes on top of our tower. Our tower isn't strong enough to handle the load of the new antenna, so we got to get a new tower. And so they are coming out July 8th to dismantle our tower. I'll still be in Bulgaria, so I'm kind of nervous about that. But anyway, we have 2 towers up there, and so for the last weekend, we have been moving our antennas off of that the tower that's got to be taken down onto our other tower. Now, this is where it's a little, this is the important part right here. So Channel 16 was operating up until just a couple of days ago, and this is all temporary, was operating at what we call our ERP, our effective radiated power. So our power was 450 kilowatts. So that's 450,000 watts power. Because of this temporary antenna, it's not near, it weighs 100 pounds, where our full power antenna weighs about 9,000 pounds. Okay, so we're having to drop down to 30,000 watts. So a lot of people in our fringe areas, we've heard from Ware Shoals and Greenwood and places like that, that get us over the air, have lost us. Now we're streaming live still on our website, WGGS16.com. We're still on Roku and things like that. Now those that's on charter, they're not going to be affected. They hadn't been affected. Dish Direct, they were affected just while we were off the air. We're back on them now. And all the other cable systems and UVerse were on there. So it's really, right now, only affecting, well, first off, about 20-something% still have rabbit ears. And it's growing. That number's growing. But out of that 20-something%, it hadn't affected but maybe 5 or 6% of that. So we're talking about just a few out there that this will affect. But September we'll be on our new frequency. So this is very temporary. And but I will tell you, we are changing frequencies, and you need to look at the type of antenna. If you're watching over the air, if you got cable or satellite, this will not affect you one bit. If it does, then you need to call your cable and satellite provider. But if you're watching over the air, you need to check what kind of antenna you have. You need an antenna that will work with low band V, low band VHF. So channels 2 through 7, I think, or 6, something like that. So when you go to shop for a new antenna, or make sure you have one that will work, let's write this down, look at the specs. Look at for 54 megahertz on the low end. So find you an antenna that'll work for 54 megahertz. That's a lot of information, but there's a lot of good websites out there. And of course, we're going to be doing a lot of more viewer education as the time goes on, as we get a little bit closer. But Channel Master, They're an antenna manufacturer. That's what I have in my house. It will work for channels 2 through, well, now 45, soon to be 34, 35. So Channel Master, go to their website, and then you can enter your zip code, and it'll tell you all the stations around, both pre and post repack. This is what we're calling the repack. Everybody's repacking these channels, you know. So that'll kind of give you an idea of what you need to look for. And if you missed that, we can have stuff on our website soon. And of course, there's going to be lots more viewer education as the days get by. But I just wanted to come on here and say, this is why we were down. It's all a good thing, you know. And here's something wonderful that nobody knows. You don't even know it. I barely know it. So right now we have channel 16. We have channel 28. That's our low power. We've got all these channels over the air. I mean, it's something like 17 or 18 of them or something like that. It's a lot. We just added Court TV on 16.7 or something. People are loving that. I was a little scared to add it. You know, people are loving it. You know? And Quest, which is like History Channel on there, and of course QVC's been on for a while. But anyway, with all this, I'm actually going to be able to add not just another channel, like a dot channel, but an actual another station. Another low power station. So I'll have the channel 16, channel 28, and channel 31, which we actually have up in Hendersonville, but we're actually able to relocate it during all this process. That is great. And so we're actually going to be able to use that to really reach a lot of people down there. So all good stuff happening. It's just with anything, it's going to take some time, you know. At the end of the day, for those that's watching cable satellite, no need to panic. Nothing's going to change. For those that's watching over the air with rabbit ears, just make sure you got a low VHF capable antenna. So look at the specs, 54 megahertz. Now, with us reducing power, we'll mention this real quick. With us reducing power during this interim, we have lost a couple of, like Hendersonville Cable and a couple other cable systems that rely on us, you know, with that feed. So those in Hendersonville, if you watch this on, I forgot the cable company up there. There's a ton of cable companies. Anyway, we're actually sending them some equipment so they can acquire us over internet. And probably we'll do that with a couple of more cable companies as well. So anyway, we're being proactive as we can on this, that's for sure. So.
And thank you, folks, dear viewers, for bearing with us. And thank you, Dante, for giving us that update.